Okay, thank you. Rehearsal, please.
There is a tavern in this town. Where every waiter wears a gown. It's such fun you'll never want to leave. And when it's raided, you will grieve.
Sounds good. Camera set.
One take one.
The Act is a short film set in 1965 on the eve of decriminalisation of male homosexuality, and it's a love story juxtaposed with the political debates going on at that point.
The main character Matthew's journey goes from being oppressed to a journey of kind of freedom and finding his place in the world where he can live how he wants to live.
When we first discover Matthews at the beginning of the film, he's in this very formal, austere world where he was very isolated, both in terms of the shots we used, the way we lit it.
We constantly had this lovely big window in that location that in the daylight scenes we'd use Kino Flow to just bring that light in a little bit more. We'd use reefer lights to replicate our interior lighting, often motivated from the practicals. So Deirdre's uplit with one of the reefers, and then we had reefers high up coming down onto Matthews. And as we push in, we pull to him. The way we got that 60s style and feel in was the use of practicals and using them to motivate our light. And I think we got this beautiful glow that feels really evocative of a period that doesn't exist now in the same way.
Off out somewhere nice.
Me and the girls on the switchboard are heading up west, going dancing.
It's an interesting thing when you shoot period because this film is a very current theme. So the way we're approaching it is that it needs to be a modern version of a period. So that's why I was quite happy shooting digital.
I met myself a charming guy.
Panavision have a completely unique collection of lenses. So to be able to go in and have them lay out every lens, every Panaspeed possible, every Primo possible, and we shot comparisons. We shot with every filter that we needed to try. Their support was just amazing, and they backed the project right from the start.
It's nice when I get a phone call or an email from a DOP and they have something that they're excited about and that they're passionate about, and it gives us an opportunity to try and help them bring that to life.
One of the main reasons that I wanted to use the DXL2 was it allows you access to large format lenses. The look that you can get, say, in a close-up of someone, the fall-off that comes from the lenses out of focus is just, it's so unique. You can't recreate that look in any other way.
I took him back up to my flat.
I knew pretty quickly that the Panaspeeds would be where we wanted to go, not necessarily because they're faster, but the way they flared was so natural and so organic, it was just beautiful.
Up on the river drive.
Camera set. Thank you. Stand by.
When we were looking for locations for this film, we were really interested in capturing a sense of what London felt like in the 1960s. The toilet location is probably the most challenging location we got because it is a working public toilet.
So you hygiene issues down there.
Some people without great aim.
How many actors clean their own toilets?
It makes me feel a lot better though, it does, it makes me feel so much better. No rush.
Down these skylights, we're going to push some 1Ks and 2Ks through here.
We get like these shafts of light coming in, of hard light coming in, street lamp light for this beautiful skylight.
It was very, very windy, and the entire team seemed to be holding on to the lights to make sure they didn't blow away at one point.
You feel the street coming down into the basement. And then we have this kind of lovely cyan blue in the toilet cubicles. One of the first things Tom talked about was the club scene that we have. He wanted it to feel Technicolor. The film's set in the 60s, which is kind of just after the period where the kind of VistaVision, CinemaScope features of Hollywood features were, and he loved that look. And we're, I guess, trying to make our version of it.
So let's get some props set up for these guys pouring the whiskey and the water.
The biggest difference with the way the camera moves in the bar is that the first time we see it, we're on Steadicam. So the film's been very composed up until that point, and Matthews is walking into a world that he's not ever been in before. And the movement just shows the sort of freedom that he has in that space.
We have like 20 supporting artists, all look incredible. We've got drag queens, we've got sailor boys.
Myself and Claire, the costume designer, we shared research pictures of the 60s of what those sort of people might look like. And then what Claire did brilliantly was matching what we had talked about to the people that she sourced.
We dress everyone to their measurements, look at their faces, find their personalities, and then after the core dress we create a character, and the lineup is where we finalise those characters.
Fantastic. I feel fabulous. Fabulous.
Just another ordinary Sunday, you know.
We're putting in lots of little spots of colour all around the room. We have these great little practicals that are here anyway.
First told me that crossed my mind.
Where the combination of camera, lenses and filters that we ended up with come into their own is in the bar. We ended up with a mixture of glimmer glass and low contrast filters. You're dealing with a location that has a lot of very bright highlights and very dark areas, and two characters speaking to each other, one with very dark skin and one with very light skin, and lots of colour in there as well. The diffusion filters and the sensitivity of the sensor of that camera meant that we could really accent the practicals, and it meant that we could use them as our base light and light everything else around them. And that was something that really brings that 60s feel, you know, when you shoot on film, that those halations are really natural.
You see, I am just waiting for my prince, my hero, to come and rescue me from hell.
We couldn't have had a more perfect camera and lighting package to do what we did.
Thank you very much. See you later.